Alright, so this is section 3.4, and this is about finding slopes of lines. So let's take an example. But first let's state what slope is again. Slope, which we'll call M, is going to be the rise divided by the run. Now rise could be going up or going down, or run could be going to the left or going to the right. So those are a must to understand. And we also have an equation that we need to memorize. That's slope equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Right, so let's take a look at a couple points just to see how this all works. Let's say we're doing the point of negative 3 comma 1 and 3 comma negative 2. Okay, so if we go ahead and graph this, here's our graph. Okay, so here's my graph. And I graph these 2 points, negative 3, negative 1, 2, 3, and it goes up 1. And then I do 3, 1, 2, 3, down negative 2. Okay, so it's some right here. Okay, so now we could graph the line because we know the 2 points. We could literally do a triangle or a stair step on our line. So going from this point to this point, you would run basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to run 6. And since I went to the right, it's positive 6. But then I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go down 3, which is negative 3. So going down is negative, going to the right is positive. So again, it follows the graph because this is a negative direction, this is positive, this is positive, this is negative. So I can count. I can say, okay, the run is 6, so I put 6 here. And then the rise is negative 3. So I have, if I reduce this, negative 1/2. So that means if I go to the right 1, 2, down 1, I land on my curve. If I go over 1, 2, down, I'm on my curve. So this tells me my slope is negative 1/2 just by looking at the graph. Now we could also use the equation to get the same answer. So the first step, I always call it, is label the points. So this is going to be x1, y1. This one is x2, y2. So now my second step is to write the equation. So write the equation. So I always tell people to rewrite it as many times as possible so that you start to memorize this formula. So you should just write it y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And now I'm going to put the points in. So I put it in. So y2 is, this time, is negative 2. So I put that in. There's a negative in the equation, so be careful. And then y1 is 1. x2 is 3 this time. There's a negative in the equation. x1 right here is negative 3. So I'm going to do parentheses negative 3 to remind myself that this is going to change to positive. So negative 3 is on top and 6 is on the bottom, which is what I got up before when I did the graph, which gives me negative 1/2. So again, the equation and the graph should match. And why do we need to know both? Well, if the points are pretty close, it's easy to do on the graph. But what would happen if these 2 points were really far apart from each other? You're really going to graph it and count to the rise and the run to figure that out? No, it's much easier to use the equation. So that's why we need to know both.